Are we bonding? Hello and welcome back with another The Orville episode reaction. Today we're going to talk about the 11th episode of The Orville, New Dimensions. So this episode was really cool. We got to see new aliens, new life forms and new character stories as well. Something that we didn't really get from Star Trek Discovery, but that's for another video. We got to see the Horrible-X for the first time. They are the smuggler race in the Orville universe. And we got to see this guy who was eating space noodles in his ship, and it was quite disgusting. And we got to see this other guy. There he is. The new life forms basically were new and not really new. Basically was new to the Orville franchise, but not really new for the science fiction franchise. If you remember the Next Generation episode The Lost, the Enterprise encounters a race that basically lives in a string, a two-dimensional string. Well, the same thing happened in here, although they were in a different dimension. I really loved and I really enjoyed the visuals of this episode because that race that they presented in this two-dimensional space that was more of a electrical circuitry or a computer circuitry. It had a kind of Tron vibe into it that I really find fascinating. So obviously, as I said, this element, this two-dimensional idea came from the TNG episode The Lost. I can excuse the Orville for getting a lot of things from the Next Generation. First off, because a lot of people from the Next Generation works on the Orville, and there's no harm learning from the best. This episode had really great character moments and character developments at the same time. Well, let's talk about the character moments first. We got to this conversation in the bridge between Lamar and Gordon, and explaining how an office pad make good use in the on the bridge. That moment between Isaac and Gordon was priceless. Not just because Isaac had an innocent approach to this, but in a way it was quite superior as well. So he basically started to show Gordon like, okay, I'm the superior being and I'm basically bonding with a non-superior being, so basically we are bonding, and that's what humans do with cats or with dogs or with animals. I mean, we think they are not superiors, but if you think about it, in a way they are. Obviously the three big character big three character development in this show, in this episode, was Ed, Kelly and Lamar. Now let's talk about Lamar first. We got to know Lamar as the helmsman of the Orville, who likes drinking soda and who really just likes making pranks and jokes, and he just basically fools around like Gordon does. And we got to know this really big secret from Kelly, as Lamar, a really smart guy, he just wastes his talent over silly pranks, while he could be actually the chief engineer of the ship. So we get to see this transition and we get to see this explanation why Lamar pretends to be who he is. So we got to know he was always being a really smart guy, but living in a small society, he wanted to be liked and he wanted to be accepted. So basically he didn't want to become the Wesley Crusher of the Orville universe, that I can actually understand. And although he said he has no command abilities, in that scene in the shuttle, that was something. And obviously the big secret drops as well. In the first episode there was a conversation between Admiral Halsey and Kelly, and this was something that I was waiting it will drop at one point, and it did in this episode, and it really affected Ed at the really beginning, because obviously if you get to know something that you didn't achieve because of yourself, but because someone helped you and you didn't know about it, that can be really discouraging. And that was exactly the case that happened with Ed. So he felt a little discouraged and he actually started to question himself and second guess himself as well, just to make sure, okay, he is doing the right thing or not. So it was really interesting to see this subtle transformation with Ed, and how he tried to prove himself he's worthy to the captain's chair, he doesn't need anyone's help. And this is something that comes across with our lives as well, because in a way we get to know ourselves and we know what we are capable of. Sometimes we need our friends and family because they can realize our values and they can realize our talents that we're not necessarily able to see ourselves. I had many moments in my life as well that I felt, okay, I'm not gonna able to do this, I'm not ready for this, I'm not worthy for that position. After a while I figured, okay, they just made me actually a better person. And that's really what happened with Ed and Kelly. If there's no Kelly, he might have been getting another command, but it might not have been the same. So he been pushed to this situation and he grew to be a really good captain. For me, the biggest star in this episode was Kelly. Adrian Palicki did a really good job ever since the series started with Kelly, and with my deepest appreciation goes to her.
Thanks.
And basically she proves this old southern saying that behind every powerful man there's a woman. So overall this episode was one of the best ever since the series started, but to be honest this is true for the whole series because the Orville is the best thing that happened in 2017. I know we have started Discovery and that's kinda cool, but we talk about that in another video. So as I said, this was a really cool episode. I really enjoyed the character aspect of the show. I really loved how everyone got some little screen time, and we even got to see the guy from the elevator, so although there was no music this time. So I loved it so much, and I'm a bit sad because there's only one more episode left and basically the Orville goes to a big hiatus. Still season 2 comes back and that's God knows when gonna be released. So I'm a bit sad because the Orville is really cool and I want more, and it would be nice to actually have a classic 24 episode season like back in the days, like in TNG. And you know, as long as there's so much familiarities between the Orville and the Next Generation, they could have inherited this aspect of the Next Generation as well, so getting more episodes in a season. But hopefully with season 2 we're gonna get some more episodes, and I really hope we're gonna get some more episodes because it's just cool! Cool. Please let me know in the comment section below what did you think about this episode called New Dimensions, and what was your favorite or least favorite moments. As always, thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to receive all the geekiness every week. And until next time, live long and prosper.